thrilled to be sharing with you, our online audience, as well as our studio audience here. I promise you, this evening will be one that will be memorable. You, as we celebrate with our author and friend Desrine McFarlane on the publication of her memoir, I've Got Shoes. Now, just the title alone gets me so excited. I can't wait to hear the story behind I've Got Shoes. So, transported to a space of bliss by our musical guest, Melissa Cheddon Wizard.
Thank you. I believe the children are future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride. Make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be. Everybody searching for a hero. People need someone to look up to. I never found anyone who fulfilled my need. A lonely place to be. And so I learned to depend on me. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadow. If I fail, if I succeed, at least to live as I believe. No matter what they take from me, they can't take away my dignity, because the greatest love of all is happening to me. I found the greatest love that's all inside of me. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride. Make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadow. If I fail, if I succeed, at least to live as I believe. No matter what they take from me, they can't take away my dignity, because the greatest love of all is happening to me. I found the greatest love of all inside of me. The greatest love of all. It's easy to achieve. chance, that special place that you've been dreaming of leads you to a lonely place. Find your strength in love.
So you have just been treated by a feast from Melissa Cheddar Wizard. I bring your attention now to these beautiful art pieces that was done by Delroy Hay of A Class Art. And we have some beautiful pieces here where you can see we have the legendary John Holt. We have the legendary John Holt. And behind our beautiful author here, you can see Miss Lou. I know everybody knows Miss Lou, right? And as for me, who is a Scientist child, remember Miss Lou, especially for Ring Ding. And over there, you have one of the greatest, the smooth singing sound in picture form of Barry's Hammond. Now, everybody I know absolutely love Barry's Hammond that is in the room. And I'm sure it's the same for our studio audience. I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you all. And you have some other portraits here. So these are some beautiful pieces drawn, and we do have paintings too, but these are some drawings that he has done. That's Delroy Hay of A Class Art. Now, Desiree, let's have a conversation.
Okay.
Let's talk. We want the people to hear from you. No, all of us that are here and are online are aware that we are celebrating this momentous occasion with you of the publication of your memoir. I've got shoes. And we are excited. And I know, especially for the women, that actually speaks to a lot of women. We can relate that, about shoes, because most women love shoes. But tell me, Desiree, who is Desiree?
Okay, so I want to first acknowledge my parents. I am the daughter of Kenneth and Diana McFarlane. I'm their sixth child. On another level, I am a go-getter.
Mm-hmm.
I am someone who is resilient, creative. There's no limits as far as I think my potential is, as long as there is something within my power that I can do. I do not see limits. I see barriers as challenging and stepping stones for where I want to go. I see things that happen to me as opportunities for me to have a testimony to share with someone about what I have been through and how I made it through. And so for me, and I love people. I love people. My career has been in human resource management, and I think there's no mistake there. I love serving people. I love taking care of people. I love to sing.
So are we going to hear from you tonight?
No. Not tonight, I'll be reading. But thank you for that question, because sometimes when we're asked who we are, we're not sure.
Yeah.
We're not sure. We talk about stuff that we have, like physical stuff. But basically, my intellect is my greatest, I think, gift from God to me. That capacity to learn and to apply what I've learned.
Great. And while Desrine and I are having our conversation, I'm inviting not just our in-studio guests to feel free at the appointed time to ask questions or to type your question. For those of you that are online, to type your questions so you can hear what she has to say and get to know her a little bit better, and more importantly, know more about the book I've Got Shoes. I just love saying that. I've got shoes. Come on, studio audience, say it with me. I've got shoes. There you go. Now, Desiree, another question for you. When did you realize that you wanted to write, that you wanted to tell your story, to share your story with the world?
I actually never realized it until a friend of mine, George, I hope he's online.
Mm.
We became friends, and as I shared my journey, he kept saying to me, "This, you need to write it down. You need to, people can be inspired by your story." And I thought that I did not have the patience. It wasn't a priority for me. But on in 2021, I got a trigger, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about that. Right, in
Okay.
2021, I got a trigger, and it was time to tell my story. I had, from the moment he told me, I actually had the title. I've got shoes. If I ever write a book about myself, it's going to be I've got shoes, because that's a metaphor for I've got talent, I've got purpose, I've got ways to serve. I've always said losing a job is not an issue for me because I'm a servant. So there's always something somewhere for me to serve and something for me to do. So shoes, while it sounds literal, it's a metaphor for so many things. I've got gifts, I've got talent. I've got a village. My village, some of you are here. You have to look at what are the things that make you walk, make you move,
Right.
make you get along with life. I've got my parents, I've got my family. And so shoes is a metaphor, not just for shoes, but for the many blessings and the many gifts that God has bestowed upon one like me. Yeah.
Thank you, Desrine. But now that you have told us that part of your story, is there any question that any one of us that are here, that is in studio, would like to ask to hear from Desrine? And while you're thinking of the questions or questions that you would like to ask, I am going to now invite Desrine to read a part of I've Got Shoes. Come on, audience, come on. I've got shoes.
Thank you, Shireen. And I want to say a huge thank you to the audience that is both in the studio and those that are online. Without you, I would just be sitting here by myself. So thank you so much for being here. Um, I'm now going to get right into it in the interest of time. It's not what you know that matters, it's what you do with what you know. If you practice being grateful for what you have, you may realize that you have all you need. If you find yourself in limbo, it is not up to others to pull you out. It is up to you. It is your life. If you want more for yourself, you must purposefully do more for yourself. Purposeful living requires the right network to be sustainable. No man is an island. If your plans include and never again, you must be intentional about it. From as early as I can remember, I had one dream: to be someone. I wanted to impact the world. I was not sure how I would do that, but from the many books I read, they taught me that there was a big world out there with many opportunities for someone with my capabilities. I knew that if I worked hard and focused on the right things, I could influence the lives of others, not just in Jamaica, but around the world. The turning point came in 2012 when I finally picked up a gift I had been given a few years earlier: a book. Had I known how that gift would change my outlook, I would have made use of it much sooner than I did. When I finally picked it up, I was faced with a situation that I needed to remedy. Although I knew what I needed to do, untangling myself from the situation was a scary prospect. There would be no going back if I took that decision. Therefore, I had to be sure that it was the right time. I had been considering the pros and cons for many months, but I felt stuck. But The Purpose Driven Life by Rick Warren was about to change all that. I had received the book 2 years earlier and promised myself to read it one day. As I stood with the book in my hand, something told me that in those pages, I would find the answers to the questions that were swirling around in my mind for many months. I was scheduled to travel for work in Trinidad and Tobago, and the flight time to and from, including stops, was 5 hours and 20 minutes. When I added the additional 4 hours I would be spending at the airport, I knew I could read the entire book on that trip, and that's exactly what I did. The funny thing was, I had discovered my purpose 16 years prior, but had lost some of the spunk that went along with that discovery. I knew what I was created to do. I knew if I took deliberate steps to fulfill my purpose, the results would be meaningful and impactful. However, what I had been doing for the past 6 years was settling for a lowered expectation of myself to please someone else. I had lost sight of my purpose. I was growing professionally, but my personal life was in limbo. I was hanging on to something that I knew in my heart was not right for me. I was hanging on because it was comfortable. I had swapped out purposeful living for a sometimes comfort zone life. I knew that purposeful living was the correct response, but dreaded the inevitable. I knew that extracting myself from the situation would result in some uncomfortable and difficult days ahead. Later that afternoon, after checking in at the airport, I opened the book and began to read. That's when the reality of my situation literally smacked me in my face. From the outset, the book provided me a roadmap out of my situation. Page after page seemed to immerse me in a world of possibilities. Those possibilities made the perceived obstacles and difficulties appear surmountable and insignificant. The book was daring me to be brave enough to follow the roadmap and conquer any unforeseen difficulties. Delving deeper into the purpose-driven life caused me to think and ask myself these questions. Desrine, what are you doing with the multiplicity of gifts you have been given? Why are you selling yourself short by focusing on what you do not have? Why are you settling for less than you deserve? By hanging on to unfulfilled dreams, I had lost sight of what I could achieve by focusing on who I was at my core. Should I go on?
You may.
Okay. The book was showing me how to use my time more meaningfully instead of wasting it on a dream that was outside of my sphere of control. I had heard this said many times: to grow, sometimes you must let go. And I finally knew what that meant. The book was teaching me that my life, and I dare say, your life, should not be dependent on someone or something that does not measure up to your vision of yourself. To achieve more for myself, I had to let go, and that is what I did. I wanted more, and I was the only one who could release myself from the limbo I had placed myself in. I had chosen less than I deserved, so I had to work purposefully to conquer that complacency and go after the more that I needed to be whole. Today, I can say without a shadow of doubt that I am genuinely happy with my life and my career. Having taken back control of my destiny, I created a new network of support. This new lease on life has not faltered over the years. I consistently live a more fulfilling and purposeful life. I keep climbing, and whenever I face unforeseen obstacles and challenges, I draw on my resilience and reach out to my sources of support, and they are always eager to help. This book, therefore, is not just my story, but the stories of the countless people that have impacted my life and my career. For many years, one of my best friend George had been encouraging me to write my memoir. He felt that my story was inspirational and the world needed to hear it.
The series of launch events of I've Got Shoes. But let's hear what some of our persons on YouTube has to say. Herman Allardyce says, "Good evening, everyone." Marjorie Thompson says, great going, Sister Des. Sharon Writer, hi, Mommy Ethel. Andrea Ridley Parcell says, congratulations, Sister Des, on the launch of your book. Yvonne Bignall, so happy for you, Des. Heartiest, heartiest congratulations on this milestone achievement. She also says, a true servant leader. And I think we can all agree with her on that point. You know, and Geraldine Pinnock, congratulations, Desrine, great going. Shanna Davis Roman, it is up to you. Congratulations, Des. Proud of you. Such an inspiration. Now, those are just some of the comments. Continue to write them in. Continue to ask questions if you wish. But as we continue this evening, I will now invite our musical guest to do another song for us. So let us all welcome Melissa Cheddon Wizard.
Must have been cold there in my shadow to never have sunlight on your face. You were content to let me shine. That's your way. You always want to stand behind. So I was the one with all the glory, but you were the one with all the strength. Beautiful face without a name for so long. Beautiful smile to hide the pain. Did I ever tell you you're my hero? And everything I would like to be. I can fly higher than an eagle. You are the winds beneath my wings. Might have appeared to go unnoticed. I've got it all here in my heart. I want you to know I know the truth. Of course I know. I would be nothing without you. Did you ever know that you're my hero? Everything I wish I could be. And I could fly higher than an eagle. You are the winds beneath my wings. Did I ever tell you you're my hero? You're everything, everything I wish I could be. Oh, and I can fly higher than an eagle. 'Cause you are the wind beneath my wings. You are the wind beneath my wings. Fly away. You let me fly so high. Oh, fly so high. Thank God for you, the wind beneath my wings.
Such an appropriate song as we segue into the second reading from our author and friend, Desrine McFarlane.
I was about 10 years old when I began to think about my future. My teachers had begun to take note of me. I enjoyed participating in almost every class activity, such as reading, writing stories or compositions, and solving math problems. I also excelled at mental ability. This was a subject that required some type of analysis to identify things that were similar and dissimilar. My hand was almost always the first to go up whenever my teachers asked questions during class. I loved learning as much as I loved reading. I started embracing my mom's insistence that her children have a better life than she had. Learning, she said, was the best way to secure a better life in the future. She encouraged us to admire successful people living in our community and to strive to be like them. She explained that they had good jobs because they were educated. They also did not need to work as hard to secure a good life for their families. To reinforce her point about education, she told us the many things she would have done differently had she gotten the opportunity to relive her life. With my mom's advice in mind, I began to admire my teachers. They were educated and had good jobs. Their children had shoes and attended high school. If I became educated, I could be just like them. So, staying at the top of my class and reading as many books as possible became my primary focus. As I advanced in my schoolwork, my teachers began investing more in my development. At home, I was also being groomed for success. As a young girl, my mom had lived for some time with relatives who had previously resided in England. During these years, she was taught to speak the Queen's English instead of patois, that's the Jamaica colloquial language, is what they say, sometimes referred to as broken English. And my mom was determined that patois would not be the language in our home. She could not shield us from it before because it was spoken in almost everywhere in Jamaica. But while at home and school, English would be our language. This was an added advantage for me at school. Because of mom's English speaking requirements at home, standing out at school was quite easy for me. I had no difficulty speaking proper English, and as soon as I and soon I was being trained for speech competitions. My teachers also continued to reinforce my potential for academic success, and I began to see the possibility of attending high school. My ability to learn was confirmation that I was more than a poor, shoeless child. I had the potential to achieve. And if my teachers did not feel daunted by my family's financial situation, neither would I. My family also recognized that I was focused on doing well in school and allowed me the space and time to study and read. Our house was small, and I had lots of older brothers and sisters, so I had very few chores. This meant that I had more time to read, understand mathematics, and write well constructed essays and stories. I was good at writing stories about my life as it was, and I wrote stories of my dreams of a better life. I thoroughly enjoyed comprehension and composition as well. As I began to excel academically, I needed little or no supervision from my mom when completing my homework. Because we did not have electricity at home, homework was priority number one when we arrived home from school. Working on my own, I would finish my homework quickly and take it to my mom for review. I had no idea that she did not understand my homework because she would carefully review my work, ask a few questions, then instructed me to do it over, especially if the subject was mathematics. Thinking that mom saw something that needed to be corrected, I would redo my homework slowly to ensure that I was not sent back a second time. Whenever I brought my homework back to mom, if the answers were the same, she would say, "Well, I thought I saw something that was not correct, but I was mistaken. Good work." I then got my kiss on the forehead before scampering off to read as much as I could before it got dark. Mom was a genius when it came to managing our family. She had many full time jobs that kept her busy all the time. Looking back, I should have used some of my reading time to help her. As I prepared the outline for this book and reflected on my upbringing, my love and respect for my mom became intense. She was our number one advocate in almost every circumstance throughout our lives. Before seeing us off to school each morning, mom coordinated family worship, prepared breakfast for the family, sometimes with the assistance of the older kids, then bathe and dress the smaller children. Her second job, sewing for her kids and community members, almost everything we wore were tailored by mom. Sometimes after seeing us off in the morning, she would sew or mend clothes for us and community folks. She was a talented seamstress, but she made very little money from sewing in those days because her fee was what the persons could afford, if anything. Her third job was vending at my school gate. Mom had a stall at our school gate where she sold snacks and snowball. Snowball was shaved ice, which resembles snow, topped with a pump of buyer's favorite syrup for sweetness. Well, the buyer's favorite syrup for sweetness, the same syrup that my mom manufactured. This was served in the open hand and consumed in record time. Having mom so close helped me to focus. At break time, my siblings and I had to help her to sell. Although other vendors sold at our school gate, my mom was the loveliest in terms of personality, and the children flocked to her stall as a result. Her stall was under a little makeshift shed that my dad had built beside a tree. I was so proud of my mom. She was loved more than all the vendors, and her stall was always crowded with children who were prepared to wait to be served. Some children told us that their parents specifically told them to buy only from mom. I think it was because she was so active in the community. In the afternoons, dad took over the selling, and mom returned home to prepare dinner for our family. Over the years, I have thanked her for the sacrifices, but while writing this book, I understood more deeply how much she loved and still loved her children, and how she, in partnership with dad, ensured that we had the best life possible.
Thank you, Desrine. You know, I have read the book as I see the tears of love and appreciation for your parents. I have read the book, and likewise there were parts that when I read it, all the different emotions coursed through my body. There was part when I read it that I laughed. There were parts that when I read it, I was just in suspense to know what will come next. And certainly there were parts that when I read it, it brought tears to my eyes. Now, you have mentioned before why you came up with that title, I've Got Shoes. But I'd like to hear from you about the subtitle, Capitalizing on Opportunities. Talk to us about that.
Right. So throughout the book, you will discover that I have a saying that says, opportunities find those who are searching for them. Um, in From this age, my teachers saw the potential in me, and the book will speak of it. So when my mom couldn't find the 20 cents for me to take extra lessons for common entrance, they said she has to. She can come for free.
Mm.
And throughout my life, as I realized that as I applied myself, and as persons read the book, I'm hoping that they will read the book, they will see that some remarkable opportunities came my way, and some challenges as well, right? Some challenges, and as I said it before, that for me, challenges are there to really teach us how to be more resilient, how to be more persistent, how to press forward, how to be determined, how never to give up. Right? There's my math story. For 15 years, I could not pass mathematics. I took it over and over again. But I wanted to be where I am today. I wanted to have the letters behind my name that I had today. And I could not get those letters without mathematics. So it was a matter of just keep doing what I needed to do to get to where I wanted to go. And I call myself a late bloomer. When I was in university, I was there with kids, young people, and I felt weird. But then in 4 years, it was over. And so I say to anyone out there, right now, I'm talking to you, whatever the obstacles are and how long you've been working at it, keep working at it, keep reaching for it, and opportunities will find you.
Thank you. In the book, you also speak a lot about legacy building. Why is that important to you?
Okay, so as I said before, I love people. I love people. I love growing people. I love helping people to build their capacity. And I believe that the greatest legacy that anyone can leave in this world is the impact they have had on the lives of others. The way that they have purposefully assisted others, not just by the way, but purposefully make an effort to help other people. And so for me, I care what people think about me. I have been a leader for many years. So I care because when I care, then they will feel that care and they will be inclined to respond to what I am trying to help them to do. So for me, the young people that are around me has got to build. I've got to help them to build themselves and to be the best version of themselves. And it doesn't matter to me if they end up being wealthier than me or, have a higher position than me. My responsibility is to ensure that they are part of my legacy. Because in this room, it is turning around, it's coming back to me. It has come back to me,
Yeah.
right? It has come back to me. And so for me, legacy building is how I have purposefully, not just people, but my family, try to help people to see that do not place limit on yourself. Do not allow other persons to place limit on you. Some people ask me sometimes, Desrine, I don't know how you do all the things that you do. And I said to them, it's about planning. It's about planning. First of all, I have a purpose. And from that purpose, I have a plan as to how I'm going to fulfill. Yeah. And then the process is the execution of it. How am I going to implement it? Because I have the power. The power is not in what other people think or what other people say or what other people do. I have the power. And so I have not been daunted by people thinking that, oh, you think you can do that? I know I can do it. Right? I know I can do it. And I do not pay attention to, honestly, I do not waste time on people who are critiquing me and all that. I'm laser focused on building my own legacy, using my mind to help others to be the best version of themselves that they can be.
Awesome, awesome. So what I'm hearing here is that to have a belief in self is very important. It is key to the success if you want to carry on, and not to be daunted by somebody else who will also aspire to be where you are, because there's enough room, there is enough space for all of us. So we don't have to, there's a saying in Jamaica that they speak about crab in a barrel.
Yeah.
We don't need to have that crab in a barrel mentality, because there is enough for all of us, and that is so important. You also spoke about before we began. We were just here chatting, and you spoke about having a village. The importance of having a village around you. That support, that tribe, and certainly you having that village is one of the reasons that you even have sponsors today. So I will invite you to listen to these words from our sponsors. Welcome back. Welcome back. Let us hear some more from our audience that are on YouTube. Ivan Bignell says, I thoroughly enjoyed reading this book. It had me fully engaged to the very end. I was not only inspired, I was also challenged. Thank you, Des. M. Wilson says, I was going to ask, what should someone do when they feel like they are always trying, but somehow feel misaligned with their purpose? But I think you've answered it. Keep going. Keisha Beckford, little is much when love is in it. I like how that is put. Little is much when love is in it. A beautiful story of triumph over struggles. I am truly inspired. Herman Allardyce says, Sister Des, can't wait to get my copy. Excellent achievement. Cheryl Lee Fitz, I want All right. I want to boom flick for you, Desiree. Now I know how that is spelled. Trisha Dawson says, my dear friend Des, you continue to inspire. I am so proud of your achievements. Can't wait for my copy. I've got shoes. And the comments keep going, the congratulations keep going. And I am also so excited for Desiree, for you, Desiree, and want to add, I know we have spoken before, but I want to personally add right now, my congratulations to you for having achieved what you have achieved. When we spoke some time ago in the week, I mentioned to you that having read the book, that it has inspired me to, do likewise, to follow in your shoes. So, it is really a very inspirational read. It is a book that once you take it up and you start, no, what I have is the Kindle version. So you should just see me just trying to, I'm up in the night and I'm just trying to move, the screen right along. And because it is that compelling, it is that impactful, it is that inspirational. So I invite us all, if you haven't gotten your copy yet, go ahead, go get your copy. And tell you what, as of tomorrow, Desiree, tell us what is going to happen as of tomorrow.
So the ebook is going to be discounted. I think it's going to be like $6 something. So it's $9.80 right now. So it's discounted for the week on Amazon. The books are only available on Amazon. You can order your hardcover or your ebook, but there's a special on the ebook. So get your copy.
Awesome, awesome. And see, you have gotten all of $3 off. So take advantage. Take advantage. Don't allow it to get back to that $9. So as of tomorrow, I want to see you be reading. And then after you have read it, guess what? I want you to leave a review on Amazon. I want you to, and not only that, Desiree, Global Empowerment and Mindset Training has an upcoming event that will be on July 31st. And let me tell you how we have linked and how we have collaborated on this venture. Now we will be having a session, we will be having a vision board and a goal setting workshop on July 31st. For the first 5 persons that register and would have registered, no, it's a 3 R's, that would have registered, read, and left a review on Amazon gets all of 10% discount on the workshop. So there you go. You have 2 things that you need to capitalize on. Remember what the book says? Capitalizing on opportunities. So this is what we're doing now. Capitalize on the opportunity. Go get your Kindle version. Read it. Leave a review so that you can get it as of tomorrow for $6. And also register for the upcoming workshop from there's a tagline that is used called Dream Out Loud. And that Dream Out Loud means that you don't hide your dream. Desrine dared to dream. She dared to live her dream. She dared to shout her dream out loud so the world could hear it. Capitalize on the opportunity that are before you. Go, register, read, and review.
Lovely. Yeah, I wanted to endorse the workshop. As we're talking about before, there are so many persons who are not sure of their plan B. They're not sure about what they want to do with their lives. And this is what that is about.
Yes.
Right. So could you share a little bit more? Just a little bit more.
Just a little bit more. So I'll try to contain myself because I am really so excited about this upcoming workshop. Because one of the things that it does is that it not only helps you to set your goal and to create a plan so that you can actually achieve those goals. And what we will use is that, about the SMART goal, that's the principle that we will be using, SMART, that SMART goal objective. So, and apart from setting the goal, what we will also do, we help you to be intentional.
Yeah.
Be intentional about whatever you set out to do so that at the end of the day, you can proudly say yes. I was resolute that I was going to write the book. I've got shoes, right? I was resolute about that. I was resolute that after many years working in corporate Jamaica, and my daughter got ill and I was forced to go out on my own. Eventually I started my own business, and this is what has led me to dream out loud, because so I followed my dream, and I started to dream out loud. So it helps you to do that. Another thing that it will do, which has assisted me too, is to have an accountability partner.
Yeah.
Somebody that can call upon you to ensure that you are realizing your dream. I know you said to keep it short, so I'm keeping it short, but I'm inviting you all. Remember, register, read, and review, and you will be able to, live your dream. You will be able to shout your dream out loud.
Yes.
Now, Desrine, we are about to come to the end of a beautiful evening. An evening that we have been so blessed, an evening that we have been so inspired, an evening that we have been challenged, an evening that we have been challenged that, like Desrine, we want to live our dream out very, very low. Now, we have our studio audience here, and most of them that are here are close friends and family even. Is there anything that you want to share before we take our leave? Before we say goodbye to our online audience, is there anything that you would want to say to Desreen?
I just want to wish Desreen, to say congrats and continued excellence.
Thank you.
And I would say never change, continue to be the person that you are, a lovely, wonderful person. We love you. God is good.
Thank you.
I just want to say, Des, I am proud. I am so proud of you. You spoke about imparting what you know. I can say I have
Been the
Yes, yes, the recipient.
I
Yeah.
have benefited, and I thank you so much for your knowledge, for your love. She's so caring, right? And I just want to say, just continue to do your best. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
And I want to add my own congratulations to Desreen
Thank you.
on being an author.
Yeah.
I also admire her stick-to-itiveness, as they would say. And amidst the challenges, she spoke about using those as a stepping stone and not a hindrance. So, Desiree, you are indeed a model, and congrats. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Oh, well, you talk about having a village, and village will always be there in support.
Yeah.
And even if your village is not there, God is with you.
Amen.
And with that being said, we are happy to be a part, and not just to be a part, but to be imparted to and to impart.
Thank
So
you
as
all.
we give, as you give, we give back, and that's how it really goes in a love relationship.
Yes.
So true. So as we take our leave this evening, I have two things that I want to say to you. I want you to stay tuned. Pay attention to the website. That's www.legacyhrm.com, because this is just the first, this is just the first in the series of launch events. So there's more to come. So we have whet your appetite tonight, and I want you to stay tuned so that you can see what the next event will be like. I also want to take this opportunity to thank our sponsors. We have Legacy. We have Legacy HRM. That's the entrepreneurial venture of our author. You see, she is just so multi-talented. Right? She's just so multi-talented. And like my newfound friend here, I said she has sponsored herself, and that's it. We need to invest in ourselves. It is important that we do that. I also want to thank Global Empowerment and Mindset Training for their sponsorship in this tonight. And I also want to thank Sean Williams Consultancy Agency. That's another one of our sponsors. So, and also A-Class Art. So those are our sponsors for this evening. Thank you also for our studio audience, and thank you also for our audience that are online.
Yes.
Now, in the words of our legendary Miss Lou, because I'm a reading girl, I'm a reading girl. Clap for yourself. And remember, you can share the link with others. Just go to her website and you can share the link with others who have, for whatever reason was not able to tune in this evening. Right. And it is also on her YouTube channel. Thank you. Have a good night. And remember, go get I've Got Shoes. How much did we go? Just 2 minutes over. We did well.
Yes.
Yeah, man. So